Hello, everyone. My name is Robin Graves, and this is The World According to Graves. Um, I know last week I said I was going to continue the whole thing about political ideology and all this other BS. I was doing some research this morning, and I found something that really fascinates me. It's called CAFRA. Um, CAFRA is some ABC name to make what's really going on look a lot less dangerous than what it is. Let me give you a case here. Mr. Gerald Bryan, back in March 2012, he was a businessman. Um, the NYPD, in the middle of the night, came in with a secret no knock, yeah, warrant, busted in his door. Then, due to procedure, immobilized him, his wife, and his kids, and made them sit and watch as they destroyed his home. I mean, totally devastated it. They took his bank account. They garnished everything he had. Took it all because of a law called CAFRA. This was started back in 1986. I'll get back to that in just a little bit. Excuse me, I'm running a cold here. It took him a year, for him to be proven not guilty of anything whatsoever. During that time, in that 1 year, when he tried to get his money back and his home and his all of his real property, everything was liquidable, all of his assets, none of it existed anymore. They took $4,800 in cash from his home, and they used that to make a case that he was a drug dealer. He was part of the drug trade, all because he had $4,800 in his home. They took everything. After 10 years, he finally got his home back, or what was left of his home. It was condemned. His money and all the money gathered, due to everything being auctioned off, he never got any of that back because it no longer existed. It had been put into the policeman's retirement fund. This is not a single incident. This has happened 1,100 times in just 1 year. Just 1 year. It's amazing that our government, our law enforcement agencies that we are supposed to trust, are doing this to innocent people. Now, yes, they do have a good cause. It's to stop drug trafficking. Drug trafficking, it is a lot of money. Yeah, they do garnish a lot of money from drug traffickers. They do take a lot of their real estate and everything. But there's a lot of innocent people that are caught up in this too. More innocent people than there are drug cases, actual cases. It's really weird that this could happen to you. And there's a labyrinthine process of getting any of it back. And usually what they'll do is they'll settle out of court. The judges in it's all for them doing this. They'll settle out of court for a small percentage of what money they took from you, hoping that you don't sue them. In fact, that you actually have to file paperwork saying you won't sue them for the remainder of the money. The DAs have been involved in this. In fact, in a lot of cases, DAs have been living in these homes they're taking from people rent-free. And we're not talking some little 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom ranch style house like I live in. We're talking really nice homes. All you got to do is just be accused, have a little bit of evidence that you might have done something wrong, and they're all over you. They're taking everything you have. It's not right, should not be right, but it's legal. This is where I'm having a problem. The cops stealing from you legally. It's not your city or county police, your state and federal law enforcement doing this. And it's not, this was started actually during Prohibition and ended right after Prohibition was over and brought back in 1986. So far, every DOJ we've had, in the federal government is all for this. They think they're doing good. It seems to me that DOJs are turning into your absent-minded Uncle Alfred, who has good intentions but doesn't know the whole story to anything. Much like the Rock and Roll Hall of Shame, in my opinion. Let me look at my notes here. I got a few other things I need to talk about here about this. There was a businessman. His name is not being mentioned. I'm not. Well, I will mention their names. Yes, I will mention their names. You can research this yourself. Carl and Mary Sheldon. Uh, they were suspected of tax fraud. Suspected. All because he was putting in large amounts of money every month from his business into a bank account. It was declared, but due to the fact it was over $10,000 a month that he was making, his business was making, not him, his business was making it. The IRS got a little suspicious about it. They decided they're going to investigate. Their investigation ended up with a home taken away. All their money was taken away. Their 2 cars they bought and paid for were taken away. Everything was taken away. Um, it was pathetic. There was another family. I am going to keep their name confidential at the moment. I happen to know these people personally. Their teenage son sold $40 in marijuana once. Once. He was investigated in the state police department. Took everything they had, everything, clothes included. They owned nothing. They were penniless and homeless. They barely had the clothes around their backs. All because the DA was trying to make a case that everything they had was gained through the drug trade. When their son sold pot once, they lost their home. The kids lost all their clothes, everything. Yeah. What happened? Well, it took them another 10 years. They went penniless. The man lost his business. The wife lost her job. Uh, they have to live with family until they find an apartment they can afford while paying legal expenses to get their stuff back. They only got a portion back because a majority of it was auctioned off. The money was already used. And according to the law, CAFRA, the money no longer existed. This is sickening that this is going on in our country. It's a violation of your property rights, people. That's something that no politician will bring up to challenge or bring up as part of the political platform to end. Because as you're just like your insane Uncle Alfred, they don't know the whole story. It's never published, anywhere of what's going on. Suddenly you're accused of this. Everything you have is taken from you. Everything is confiscated as quote unquote evidence that the case is dropped. Due to the fact that the whole thing is so spread out, it is such a bureaucracy. Nobody knows what's going on. Nobody knows what happened to your stuff, and you have to track it down. You have to pay legal fees to get it back. Now, there's a really small trick here. According to the actual law, that if you're proven not guilty of all of this, the government is to pay your legal fees, but they don't let you know that. They do not want you knowing that, period. You're not to know what the whole law is. This is how they're getting away with this. This is, this is not a small time thing. And back in 1986, it started off. Let me see. I've got this listed here. In 1986, $93.7 million were taken. This wasn't just from criminals. This was taken from innocent people also. A majority of the people were innocent. They're easier to victimize. They're easier to get to catch up in things. Because, well, unlike the drug trade, the people in the drug trade, you are unsuspecting. You panic. You get afraid. You will do what the law tells you to do because we don't know any different. How many of you have even heard of CAFRA? How many of you have ever heard of civil confiscation? It's frightening that this is going on. It's frightening how few of us are even aware of what our rights are in this situation. The thing is you're not the one being arrested in this situation. Your possessions are the ones being arrested. Your possessions committed the crime. They have to be proven innocent, which is totally absurd. An inanimate object does not commit a crime. The person does. But due to CAFRA, your possessions are the ones who are being held and guilty without a trial. If you are involved in this, if you are somehow have everything of yours taken due to the CAFRA law and everything, is a violation of your civil rights on several cases. Not only property rights, it's rights of possession. You are guilty. You are presumed guilty till proven innocent. And you can't prove yourself innocent because it's up to the DA whether he wants to press charges or not, whether he has a case. The whole time, you're stuck in limbo. And your possessions, everything you have, is gone. You've lost you've lost all your possessions. You've lost your home. You've lost any money you have. You've lost cars, boats, real estate. You lost your reputation. It's gone. You're going to lose your job. Your family, they're going to be ridiculed. Your wife's going to lose her job, or husband, either one. Whichever, they're going to lose their jobs also. You're going to be left homeless and penniless. You're guilty. You are guilty until proven innocent. And that right there goes against our Constitution altogether. So, it's something that's got to be done, folks. This has got me so pissed off. All right, I make jokes about people being butthurt. Well, I'm very butthurt because this law exists. Why isn't it being addressed? Why aren't people, the politicians that are running for some office someplace, some phony baloney bullshit job they're trying to get, saying something about this? Why aren't they going against it? Why don't they bring up that a majority of the people who've been involved, who've been victimized by law enforcement are innocent to begin with. They've been found innocent. They have nothing left to lose. In fact, they have nothing. This should be frightening to our own government that they allow this to go on. I haven't heard Donald Trump say anything about it. And I voted for the man, not because I'm a Republican or a Democrat, either one. It's because, well, I didn't like Hillary and Bernie Sanders and snap case as far as I'm concerned. But I held my nose and voted for him. And I'm disappointed he hasn't said anything about it, done anything about it. He's too busy worried about our border and making peace with some other country. Well, we have problems in our own country that need to be fixed before we start worrying about everybody else's problems. I'm at a loss for words. I really am. This is probably going to be a short one today because, well, I'm getting just doing this one. I'm getting more and more upset. I don't need to be on here mad, believe me. Well, let me take a look here. In 2010, I said 1986, 93.7 million were taken. And I'm going to go back to this. This is what's frightening, folks. In 2010, $2.5 billion were confiscated from innocent people. I have seen how this works. I've seen how this goes on. All you got to do is be accused of being a drug dealer. This happens. Whether you're innocent, guilty, either one. You lost everything. You no longer have friends. You don't have anything. You are ostracized by society because you're part of the drug trade or suspected of being part of the drug trade. No. We can't live like this, folks. We can't go on like this anymore. It's gotten out of hand. Much like everything else the government has gotten its grubby paws into, it's gotten out of hand. Nothing the government has ever gotten a hold of or done anything with has ever turned out correct because you always have somebody in there or some bodies in there who are going to profit from it. So far, the only people profiting from this is state and federal law enforcement and the DA prosecuting it. Like I said, man, DAs have been caught living in these confiscated homes. They've been caught driving confiscated cars. This money in a lot of states doesn't just go to law enforcement, state law enforcement, or federal law enforcement. It goes in, it's spread out everywhere. It goes to crime victims compensation. Whether you victimize anybody, it goes to crime victim compensation for other people who are victims of crimes. It goes into the policeman's retirement fund. It goes into the funds for senators, people to run for office. It goes into their election funds. This money no longer exists. Once it leaves possession of you, the money no longer exists. In many states, it goes into a neutral bank account. I would say one half the states in the United States goes into a neutral bank account, which covers policemen's retirement funds, election funds, crime victim compensation funds. It all goes to the same places. I don't care how they try to dummy it up. It all goes to the same thing. You don't get it back because the minute it leaves your hands, it no longer exists. You can sue a person This is a little something you need to know. You could sue somebody, but getting the money, being paid, is a totally different matter. If that the person doesn't have the money that you're suing for, they can't pay you. What are you going to do? This is the same thing. The same legal aspect of this of that goes into CAFRA. If you're suing these cops for $100,000 they took from you, if they don't have that $100,000 they took from you, even though they have millions of dollars from other things, you can't collect because your money's not there anymore. So you can't get your money back. All they got to do is say the money from that case has been put somewhere else. The hell with you. You don't exist. You're nothing. They know this. We all know this. It's, anything the government gets their hands on turns to shit. Basically, it's plain and simple. Yeah, you know, it's innocent owners' right to property is being violated daily. Every time there is a confiscation of property, there is a 90% chance they're an innocent victim, an innocent party in this, and we still let it happen. I will take politicians seriously and actually like them when they decide to start helping the American people. There are a lot of laws out there that don't pertain to us, to help us. They're there to victimize us, to help law enforcement and government officials and the IRS to come down on us and cause us all kinds of problems. Because we're just the little people. We don't have any power. Well, we got a lot more power than they want to let on to. They just don't want you to know you have that power. They don't want to let you know that if you turn on sue the government or something like this for civil forfeiture, that and you win, they have to pay your legal fees. And those legal fees can be quite a bit. One family I know, excuse me, one family I know had $50,000 taken from them. They had in a safe in their home. That was their case against the family. Why does an innocent person have that much money on their person? Well, I'll tell you what. The same reason that I have any money on my person. I don't trust banks. I don't like banks making money on my money, then telling me that I can't take it out for some reason. And that happens a lot too. So he had $50,000 in his safe in his home, just for such an occasion as, and maybe sending their kids to college. I don't know. I know these people were not drug dealers. He worked very hard in his own business. He owned a construction business. This money was confiscated. The home was confiscated. 2 cars, excuse me, his business vehicles, a boat he had. They're all real estate. They were left on the streets. They had the burden of proof was they were told the burden of proof was on them to prove their innocence. Well, get this microphone here, Jane. Fix. Uh, they fought for 2 years to get things back. It costed them $20,000 before they decided they can't afford it anymore. They had people helping them. They had had people donating money to help them to get everything back. The government confiscated through civil forfeiture just because they were accused. Later, it was dropped. It was dropped later, within weeks of this happening, before they filed a lawsuit. Uh, it, I'm getting mad thinking about it, man. People, believe me, I'm getting more and more pissed off. This is something I came across doing research for what I was going to continue on from last week. I found out this is a little more interesting. I think some stuff that you people ought to know, you better know, because I guarantee you people out here watching this, at least one of you will be hit with a civil forfeiture. It's a scam, believe me. After everything I've read about it, their reasons, it's pathetic. These people lost their livelihood. He can't even get a business license anymore because he was investigated for drug sales with his business, even though he's found not guilty of it shortly afterwards. But they went into debt. They had to let this go because they didn't know a little mouse print law. The government would have to pay them back once they're proven not guilty, and of anything. It had to be returned, and then if they sued, it couldn't be returned. They sued. The government would have to pay every bit of it. But that's the thing. That's the thing. While you're suing them, your legal fees are your responsibility till after you get everything back. Then you've got to prove every legal fee, every little thing you have to prove that you put out to do this, and the government can, well, then it's their job to recompensate you for that, which will take up to 5 years. So yeah, you go spend $100,000, get $50,000 back. You got 5 years before the government will pay you back the $100,000. The whole time, from the day one that you start this lawsuit, which these lawsuits take up to 5 to 10 years to prove. Because government attorneys like to do this one thing. They like to sit there and continue everything. They want to continue it. So because they're a government attorney, the judge will say yes. You're automatically guilty till proven innocent. Your possessions are automatically guilty till proven innocent. And believe me, there are judges out there that have more important things to do than to rule on this. They will allow this to be continued on and on and on for years because they have more important things to do. They've got criminal charges on people. They've got actual civil suits against businesses, people versus people. You're just having to deal with the government. That's all. The government will do the right thing. When has the government ever done the right thing for anybody? Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I've got notes and notes and notes. I can go on. I'm running out of time, people. I'm not going to say I want to continue this because right now, I'm getting pretty upset just talking about it. I'm very upset just knowing all of this. I have too many health problems to be upset with. So I'll tell you what, folks. You guys have a wonderful week. This has been The World According to Graves. I'm your host, Robin Graves. I will get back with you next Friday. I'm going to find something else to talk about, something that's not as upsetting to me as this. Or maybe we'll continue this. Who knows? Let's see what mood I'm in next Friday. You guys take care of yourselves. Have a blessed day. And stay safe. Take care. Bye-bye.